Hello and welcome to another edition of Inside the Inferno, where we cover all things ASU athletics. I'm Maya Hall, and I have the pleasure of being joined by Sam Valenti.
Maya, it's an honor to join you at the desk today, and from the diamond to the ice and everything in between, there's a lot to unpack in today's episode.
ASU baseball faced off against Texas Tech for a 3-game home series. Then in midweek action, Arizona State stayed in Phoenix, taking on Grand Canyon University on the road. Our Johan Lopez has more on the Sun Devils' 4-game stretch in the Valley.
The Arizona State baseball team is coming off a weekend series victory over the Texas Tech Raiders, taking 2 games out of the 3-game set. Each game saw at least 14 runs cross home plate. In Game 1 of the series, junior left-handed pitcher Ben Jacobs showed exactly why he is the Friday night starter. The Maroon and Gold's ace posted a career-high 13 strikeouts in 6 innings of work while giving up 3 runs. Heading into the bottom of the 7th, the game was tied 3-3. It was looking like we were in for some high-pressure baseball. But that was far from the case as ASU offense broke the game open, scoring 7 runs in the last 2 innings, taking Game 1 with a score of 10-3. In Game 2, after Texas Tech scored 3 runs in the top of the 7th to retake the lead and make the score 7-6, Arizona State's offense responded with a run. The bases were loaded with 2 outs. Redshirt junior infielder Kyle Walker up to the plate with a chance to take the lead with the rain not letting up. The game was postponed, and 16 hours later, Walker was up to bat again and worked a clutch walk to retake the lead. The Red Raiders would go on to walk another run, making a 3-run 7th frame for the Sun Devils, holding on to a 2-run advantage. Sophomore left-handed pitcher Cole Carlone shut the door, surrendering only 1 run with an impressive 6-out save to secure Sparky's victory as well as the series. Texas Tech went on to salvage Game 3, beating ASU 12-8. The Sun Devils did make things interesting, scoring 6 runs in the last 2 innings, but couldn't overcome the 11-2 deficit. On Tuesday, the ASU baseball team took a short bus ride to the private grounds of Grand Canyon University to take on their crosstown rivals, the GCU Lopes, for a 1-game series. Whether it's basketball, softball, or baseball, when these neighboring universities meet, you know there are going to be some fireworks, and that continued to be the case on Tuesday night as it was a back-and-forth affair once more. With a total of 3 lead changes, it was initially the Matt King show as the senior shortstop drove in 4 RBIs through 4 frames, helping the Sun Devils cling onto a 5-3 advantage heading into the 6th. Then graduate student catcher Josiah Cromwick hit a no-doubt-about-it homer to deep left field, adding to the Sun Devil lead with his 11th blast of the season. ASU held a 6-3 lead heading into the bottom of the 6th. The Sun Devils looked to be in prime position. All they needed was to get some reliable pitching from the bullpen and for the bats to continue putting on runs on the board, but Arizona State unraveled. The bats went cold and the GCU offense got hot as they had back-to-back 2-run innings to steal the game from ASU as they sent the Sun Devils home with a loss. So all in all, it was quite the bizarre 4-game stretch. The Maroon and Gold will look to get another Big 12 series win at home this weekend. Back to you guys at the desk.
ASU baseball began a 3-game series against BYU last night. For more on the matchup between the Devils and the Cougars, here's Tyler Wargo.
After dropping their last 2 games, Arizona State is back in the win column after defeating BYU 8-3 to kick off its 3-game series. Junior left-handed pitcher Ben Jacobs recorded his 3rd win of the season as he pitched through 6 innings, striking out 11 batters and giving up 7 hits. Jacobs has now punched out 24 batters in his last 2 outings. At the plate, redshirt junior infielder Kyle Walker ended his day yesterday with a .365 average, hitting a double and driving in 1 run. Another notable piece for the Devils has been senior infielder Matt King, who recorded 3 RBIs in the victory. We cannot forget about redshirt freshman outfielder Landon Hairston, who hit a 6th-inning 2-run homer that added to the Maroon and Gold's lead. In the other dugout, the Cougars put up 3 runs on the board. Redshirt senior outfielder Cooper Vest went 2 for 4, driving in a run, along with junior outfielder Bryker Herdsman. The Sun Devils continue this series tonight at 6:30 p.m. as they look to get their 8th series win this season. Back to you all at the desk.
Head coach Megan Bartlett and her softball squad continued to climb the Big 12 standings after an eventful series against Baylor last week. Tanner Buck joins us in the studio with more on the action against the Bears.
Last week, ASU softball was coming off a hot streak, winning 6 of its last 7 games. The Sun Devils looked to keep the momentum going against the Baylor Bears. The Maroon and Gold did so, winning the first 2 games of the 3-game home series. In the first 2 games, Arizona State put up runs on the board, scoring 4 or more runs and managing to hold Baylor to 2 or less, winning with scores of 5-0 in the first game and 4-2 in the second. However, the Sun Devils struggled to do so in the series finale, giving up 12 runs to the Bears in the 12-3 loss. Overall, Arizona State sits at 3rd in the Big 12 Conference with a record of 33-16 on the season. Next week, they go on the road to face a ranked opponent in the Texas Tech Red Raiders, who currently hold the top spot in the Big 12.
After being named the ASU women's basketball coach a month ago, Molly Miller has assembled her new coaching staff with hopes to get the Sun Devils back to the NCAA tournament for the first time since 2019. Joining us now is Mahir Sinhasan to break down this new coaching staff. Mahir, what can you tell us about this group?
Well, Sam, it's safe to say that the Natasha Adair era is over in Tempe. Gavin Zabel, the director of video and analytics, is the only assistant left from Adair's tenure. In turn, Miller has brought 3 of her assistants from her time at GCU. Let's take a look at them here on the board. You can see Jason Glover in the top right, Ashley Lopez down here, along with Deja Bernard down on the bottom row. This will be a staff that will look to keep up the good vibes here in the Valley.
GCU finished last season 32-3, winning the WAC before losing to Baylor in the first round of the NCAA tournament. But fans are wondering if that play will translate to a Power 5 schedule. What does the rest of this coaching staff look like?
Sam, there's a lot of names with big level experience as well, and it starts off with Arizona State's new director of basketball strategy, as you can see here, Stephanie Norman. Not only is she a Sun Devil alumna, she's also spent the last 13 years as the associate head coach at Louisville. During that time, the Cardinals made it to the Elite Eight 7 times and appeared in the Women's Final Four in both 2018 and 2022. The staff also has Abby Olajuwon, the daughter of Hall of Famer Hakeem Olajuwon, who comes to the Valley after coaching with the WNBA's Connecticut Sun. So some big names on staff for Miller, which will help with this transition.
Now, Mahir, Miller had a veteran squad when she was at GCU. In other words, she's building a brand new lineup here in Tempe. What does that process look like right now?
It's a lot of players that have received meaningful minutes on some of these Power 5 teams. Take, for example, pit guard Marley Washington, who, in the words of her new head coach, can take lots of charges, and also guard last year Poa, who won a national championship with LSU a couple of years ago. She's already enjoying her time in the Valley, making TikToks with Miller, and these new players are coming into a program that is built on servanthood, according to Miller. What does that mean? Well, these players and coaches are going to represent the university and the state well. Overall, it's about fostering a community as the team tries to activate the Valley.
Thanks, Mahir, for giving us an insight into ASU women's basketball before this upcoming season.
ASU hockey is coming off an NCHC Frozen Face-Off semifinal appearance, but there will be changes coming to the team. Parker Bay has more on the roster changes.
After exceeding expectations in its first season in the National Collegiate Hockey Conference, Sun Devil Hockey must now retool its roster. Head coach Greg Powers' squad lost 10 players to graduation and another 8 skaters to the transfer portal. Arizona State saw 4 of its top 5 point producers depart from last season's roster. Now, dealt with a near 20-player loss, the Maroon and Gold have been busy this offseason trying to replicate last season's success. Let's start in the crease, where redshirt junior goalie Gibson Homer transferred to North Dakota and senior goalie Luke Pavicic signed in the ECHL with the Orlando Solar Bears. In response, ASU added Bentley junior goalie Connor Hasley. The former Falcon ranked within the top 11 in the nation in goals against average and save percentage, backstopping Bentley to an Atlantic Hockey Championship title. The 6'2" netminder led all college hockey goaltenders with 11 shutouts last season. Incoming freshman forward Benjamin Keevan and defenseman Luke Kanoa will join current Sun Devil forward Colin Potter on Team USA for the 2025 IIHF U18 Men's World Championship Tournament. Powers added talent from the NCHC by bringing in Miami of Ohio junior forward Johnny Waldron. The former Red Hawk led his team with 16 assists and tied for the team lead with 20 points. ASU also brought in forward Sean McGurn from the University of New Brunswick in Canada's U Sport League. McGurn mustered together 65 points in 60 games playing for the Reds. The 5'10", 170-pounder previously laced up the skates for the London Knights, playing 4 seasons in the Ontario Hockey League. The Sun Devils returned some major pieces to their D-corps in sophomore Anthony Dowd, freshman Sam Court, and Brazen Bozer. It should be interesting to see how Power's new pieces play out in Tempe next season.
There's a lot of buzz surrounding Sun Devils getting picked in the 2025 NFL Draft. One in particular is former ASU running back Cam Skattebo. Sun Devil football insider Adam Cunin joins us now at the desk. Adam, when can fans expect to see Cam Skattebo's name picked in this draft?
Well, Sam, most experts have Skattebo penciled into that 3rd to 4th round range, so there's a chance that we might hear his name called tonight, maybe even as early as the late 2nd round. And he's a guy that's really skyrocketed up draft boards after his magical 2024 run, where he broke the school's single-season rushing record with over 1,700 yards. Additionally, he brings some versatility in the passing game, finishing 2nd on the team in receiving last season with just over 600 yards. And throughout the draft process, his consensus draft position has sort of fluctuated. However, like I mentioned, you're looking at more of that late day 2 to early day 3 range.
There are also plenty of other former Sun Devils who could be drafted in these next 2 days. Adam, who are some more players we can watch out for in the next few rounds?
Well, outside of Skattebo, former ASU center Leif Fautanu is the name that comes to mind. He's someone that's really anchored this ASU offensive line over the past 2 seasons and was first team All Big 12 last fall, and he also brings 6 years of collegiate experience to the next level. Currently, he's projected to go somewhere in the 7th round or sign as an undrafted free agent. And outside of him, other guys like defensive back Shamari Simmons and wide receiver Xavier Guillory are 2 prospects hoping to find their way onto an NFL roster like Fautanu. They have a later round ceiling and will likely sign with teams as undrafted free agents.
Well, thank you so much, Adam, for joining us today. And as the NFL Draft continues, it is so exciting to see Sun Devils make their mark at the next level. And this is just the beginning. ASU football's presence in the pros is only getting stronger.
Well, that's a wrap on everything happening in Tempe, and it has truly been an honor to sit at this desk and bring you inside the Inferno one last time.
Don't forget to follow us on X and Instagram at Inferno Intel, and check out our website at infernointelmedia.com. For Maya Hall and our entire Inferno Intel crew, this is Sam Valenti. Thank you so much for tuning in, and for the last time, have a golden day.